Hello, Romeo and crew. Thanks for having me back on Saturday Night Online. It's Gavin DeGraw again. What I say? Said my name too many times. Anyway, I'm going to go jump right into these questions that were sent in. Pretty much Ask Me Anything sort of a segment. I'm going to go for about, I'm not going to tell you how many minutes, but it's going to be more than 10. And I'm going to tell you as close to the truth as I can get away with. Okay. So here's some questions. This is from Jennifer from Owensboro. Did I pronounce it correctly? I know everyone pronounces these types of words a little differently. It might be Owensboro. She says, what kind of gum do you chew? Jennifer, I don't normally chew gum. I wish I had a most interesting man in the world sort of comment right here to say, but when I do chew gum, I don't chew gum. I chew gum very, very seldom. But here's my question for you, Jennifer. I have a question. So after people go out to dinner, right, say they go out, they have a date or whatever it is, they go out, say they go to a nice place, and afterwards, they put in a piece of gum. And they go, hey, you want some gum? What always kind of weirded me out is that you just went out to dinner, you had a nice meal. Why do you want the last flavor in your mouth to be a 2-cent stick of gum after you just spent hard-earned money on a good meal? That's the question. It's an important question. Never made sense to me. Also, I'd also like to tell you this. Do not chew gum on an empty stomach because it fools your stomach into thinking that you're eating an actual meal, and it will give you a problem with your tummy. That was free advice. You don't even need health insurance for that. You're welcome. Paula from Fredericksburg. Do you think you'll bring out any of your old songs on this next tour? Paula, of course I'm going to bring out old songs on the next tour. Whenever I go out and do a tour, I make sure to include songs that my fans were already familiar with before the release of a new album, you know. So although as an artist it's exciting to go out and play new material, because you're excited for people to hear new stuff that you've been working on. I still pay homage to the earlier albums because the earlier albums are the only reason that people gave me a chance to put out newer albums anyway. So I think it's important for artists to keep in mind that there are opportunities that exist now if they've put out albums in the past. Their opportunities that they're getting now are so much due to the fan base that they acquired before they put out a new album. So it's important to pay homage to your fans with your old stuff when you go out on tour. Fact is, as an entertainer, it's exciting to have people singing back those lyrics to those old songs that they're familiar with anyway. So that's what I have to say about that. Angela from Baltimore, you asked this question: is there one person you could do a duet with? If there was one person you could do a duet with, who would it be? Let me think. If there was one person I could do it, who would it be? Okay, Angela, I don't really have an answer for this question, although I did enjoy your question. Thank you so much. Next question. Andrew from New York City. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, I forgot to say this. I did a duet before this album came out with one of my favorite artists, Colby Calais. We did a song called We Both Know for a Nicholas Sparks film called Safe Haven that Julianne Hough was in, and Josh Duhamel. They were great, great people. So if you haven't heard that one, please check that song out, We Both Know. I'm actually really proud of that song. Andrew from New York City. Andrew, is this you, buddy? My buddy Andrew from New York City is actually here, but this is probably a different Andrew, even though it's actually probably not different Andrew. It's probably him, because he does this kind of stuff to me all the time. This is Andrew's personality. This is his sense of humor, and it's sick, man. Let me tell you what. So anyway, he says, have you ever or would you consider covering any Billy Joel songs live in concert? Of course. I love Billy Joel. Billy Joel is one of my musical heroes. As a kid, I would go out and play play bar rooms and stuff like that when I was a teenager, and Billy Joel was one of the artists that I would cover at the bar when I would go out there. Me and my brother would be out at the bar, you know, sitting around. I'd bring a keyboard, he would bring a guitar, and there were these two guys that we knew. They were a bit older than us, but they were brothers too. They were twins, and we'd play all these old songs. And it was a really great way, as a young musician, it was a great way to learn how to play out in public, and of course, a great collection of songs to choose from. Billy Joel's amazing. I mean, New York State of Mind, Piano Man. Check out the Glass Houses record, by the way. That's an amazing record, one of my favorite records of all time, really. Sharon from Toronto, is there anything about being in the music industry? If you could change one thing about the music industry, what would it be? Good question. If there's one thing I could change about the music industry, what would it be? I'm not certain. I mean, there's obviously changes that could happen in any business. But I would say a lot of it wouldn't necessarily be the things that I would change within the music industry. It would have been perhaps my own personal approach about going about the music industry. So I think as a new artist, when I signed on, so much of my actions were based on the fear of something going wrong, within the organization, of going, oh, if I do this or that, maybe I'll mess up something else. But I think if I would have approached things slightly differently, it could change. It would have perhaps changed my initial couple of years of trying to make things work. I could have been smarter about certain things. So, but I think that's the nature of the beast. And I think in any business, I think you kind of learn as you go. And it's not that I could change the music industry, but I certainly. If I could, I would go back and I would change a couple things about the way I approached going about it myself. Anyway, what else? Which of your songs were the hardest to write? Well, the songs that are hardest to write for me are the ones that I still haven't finished, clearly. So you're not going to hear them for a while. Some of the songs that you've heard that were the hardest to write, I'll tell you one of them right now, was the first album title track, Chariot. That song took me years to finish. I mean, I started it one day and I probably didn't finish it for 3 or 4 years because I just couldn't come up with the right bridge for it. I had a verse, chorus, and I just couldn't come up with the bridge. I don't know why I couldn't come up with the bridge. It just wasn't there, and I didn't want to force the wrong bridge. And that's just what happens. I guess that's why songwriting is always so challenging. You're never really sure where to go with it, but it's also at the same time a matter of opinion. That's just art, That's just the way it is. But finally, when it came around, and I did finish it. I was very, very proud of it. Certainly proud enough of it to name the whole album after the song. Next question, Maria from Los Angeles. If you could be a superhero for a day, who would it be? That is a very hard question. I can't pick which superhero I'd like to be, but I can tell you what superpower I'd like to have. And you tell me if there's a superhero who has this power. Maybe there was one that exists. I would like to be able to manipulate time. If you can manipulate time, you could do anything. That's my answer. I could take it from here right now, Saturday, and I can make it whatever day I wanted to. I can make it next Saturday or the one before. You know what I mean? Stop it, change it, flip it around, and do it anywhere I want it. That way, I would never have to reset my sleep schedule when I went to different time zones. It would never affect my circadian rhythm. Thank you very much. That's my answer. Next question, Linda from Staten Island. Romeo, I hope you got that. Time, man, time. In fact, if I can manipulate time, I can go back and make you keep replaying my interview over and over again. Or maybe just erase the whole thing. Linda from Staten Island. If you could relive one day in your life, personal or professional, which day would it be? Now go figure. The next question is exactly about time. If I could relive one day in my life, which day would it be? The day that I could change time. That's the day. I'll tell you which day I wouldn't relive was the day I was born. I'm sure that was pretty tough. I'm sure that was a very, very difficult day. Oh, yes. Barbara from St. Petersburg, do you really have a grill on your tour bus? No, Barbara, I lied. Next question. Charity from Independence. I'm kidding. Of course, yes, I have a grill. You have to have a grill on your tour bus. The reason I have a grill on my tour bus is because I'm a terrible cook, and I like to make everyone who we work with eat my cooking as a form of punishment for being on the road together. No, I happen to love grilling. I'm not necessarily any good at grilling, but that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy it. Like almost like those George Foreman kind of grills, the ones with a little slant. Sometimes those are good, but if the bus is going somewhere, like you're traveling, it's bad because it drips on the counter. Sometimes you want to get the flat kind with a little rim around it so the grease doesn't exactly roll off. You know what I mean? Just put it on a paper towel afterward. It gets the grease out pretty good anyway. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, I keep a gas grill underneath the bus so that I can pull it out from the cargo bay and, cook up some store-bought foods rather than having to eat the catering. Not that the catering's bad. Catering people out there, I love you. I think you do a great job sometimes, most of the time. Every now and again, let's just say some people don't care as much as some of you do, and you have to do your own cooking. Also, that's what the boxes of cereal are for, my friend, in case it's too cold outside to get on the grill. Thank you very much for listening to my speech. Number 13, Charity from Independence. Wow. That's kind of great. Charity from Independence. It's amazing because true independence does not require charity. Interesting. Anyway, when you are not working, what do you like to do with your free time? Well, that's actually a good question for someone who does what I do because I regard what I do a hobby, essentially. I mean, it is now my career, but this is really just a hobby that became a career. So the same thing that I do when I'm quote-unquote working is honestly very much what I do when I'm not at work. So when I'm home, I often am playing music. That's my pastime, and it's also my career. And so they say, if you do what you love, then you'll never work a day in your life. And to a degree, I would say that that's very, 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 very much true. Very, very much true. And I say, live your dreams. And that's it. Thank you, Romeo, for your time. Thanks for joining me and us. You can't see us, but we are here. But some of them are just back there behind the camera, mostly laughing silently on the inside. Thanks for joining us on Saturday night live online, Saturday night online. And also check out my album if you don't already have it, because I like my hobby. It's called Make a Move. That's you can do it at a hashtag Make a Move. That's at Gavin DeGraw. That's at G as in Gavin, A as in Gavin, V as in Gavin, I as in Gavin, A as in Gavin DeGraw, at Gavin DeGraw. Hashtag Make a Move. Hashtag Romeo Saturday Night Online. Thank you guys. I love you. Thanks for the questions. I hope you like my answers, but if you don't, just pretend they never happened. Goodbye.